In the South Bronx, less than 5% of boys graduate from high school ready for college. Well, Boys Prep Bronx Elementary School was created in part to change the future for boys of color. It opened in 2014, and in its first year of state testing, Boys Prep Bronx outperformed 66% of schools in the state mathematics exams. The school is now poised to move into its own 80,000 square foot space. And joining us this afternoon is the CEO of Public Prep, Ian Rowe, and fourth grade student, I should add, extraordinaire, yes, Alexander Johnson. Thank you both, gentlemen, for being with us this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So I'm going to start with you, Ian. You're welcome back, yes, I should say. Yes. Last time you were here, I think you were talking about girls.
And science.
And science, yes. Yes. And now we're back talking about boys and science and everything else. And, yeah. So I introduced you as being head of
Public Prep.
Public Prep, which is sort of the parent organization,
yes,
for these schools. Bronx Prep, it sounds like this area of the Bronx was just the perfect candidate for what you do.
Yes, well, you just said it. So in the Bronx, in certain areas within the South Bronx, if you're a boy and you start 9th grade, only up to 5% graduate high school ready for college. So that means either you started 9th grade and you never finished high school at all, or you did finish high school, but the degree that you received, you don't have the skills to do college level math or reading, and that is a crime. And so we decided to launch Boys Prep back in 2014 to change that narrative, to demonstrate that outstanding young men like Alexander can do anything that their heart and talent allows them and empowers them to do. And so we're really excited to have Alexander here and to talk about some of the things that we're doing for young men in the South Bronx.
And Alexander, how long have you been at Bronx Prep?
I've been here since first grade, and now I'm in 4th grade.
Yeah, you're a big man on campus, right? So tell us, what's your favorite subject?
I say science and martial arts.
Science, you're smart and you're gonna kick some butt.
Yes.
Basically, and in more ways than one. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what it is you want to do with this great education you're receiving, okay? First, we're going to talk to Mr. Rowe here again. I think a great sign that you guys are doing a terrific job is the fact that people pushed and pushed it, because you're sort of co-share. You're in space, you're sharing with somebody else now.
Yes.
They pushed and pushed and pushed, and you are going to be moving into this 80,000 square foot space. So that will allow you, I'm assuming, to expand beyond just that first 4 grade levels.
Yes. So you said it. So we have amazing families, and our families, all they want for their children is the opportunity to send them to a great school. So this past year we had 4,300 families enter our random lottery for only about 200 open seats at our Girls Prep Bronx and Boys Prep Bronx schools. And as you said, Boys Prep Bronx, when we first moved in 2014, we're in what's called co-located space with the Department of Education. We knew back then that that space was not adequate enough to hold us at full capacity. So a couple years ago, a number of our parents wrote an amazing letter to the state commissioner, and we advocated, and our parents really fought and are going to get the building that they deserve.
Yeah, and let's be clear. One of the reasons they're fighting so quickly, and one of the reasons the state is willing to move in that direction, is because you are actually accomplishing what you set out to accomplish.
Well, we were working very hard every day to get better at doing that. And so the state made a landmark legal decision to ensure that Boys Prep would receive permanent public funding to lease private facilities. And so we are literally in the midst now of renovating a building that's going to be 80,000 square feet, state-of-the-art building with great science labs. It'll go from pre-K through 8th grade, and we believe it's going to be the kind of school and location that our scholars, our families will be proud to have their sons enter and be educated in, and it'll be fantastic for the community as well.
What is it that you believe you're able to do at Bronx Prep that's not necessarily being done, in other schools? Is it your teaching method? What do you think is special about the education that kids are getting?
Right. Well, I think there are a lot of schools where there are really talented people that have high expectations for their scholars, and we like to think that we are that too. And we have this motto, start early with the end of college completion in mind. So everything that we do is designed to ensure Alexander, even at 9 years old, is thinking about college. You know, we helped to start New York State 529 college savings accounts. We have college partnerships, so Alexander doesn't even know this yet, but we have partnerships with Cornell University, Georgetown University, all to have experiences on campus in engineering and science. That's all ahead of him, so that by the time he's ready, what seems like such a far time from now, when he's applying to college, he will already have had multiple experiences, taking classes, sleeping in dorms with collegiate professors. And we think all of those experiences together really prepare our kids to let them know that I can do it, I can go to the college of my choice and succeed at the highest levels.
Okay. And speaking of college and Alexander, I understand you already know where you want to go to school and what it is that you want to study and be. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, it started because I really love video games and I know a lot about them, so I wanted to start making some of my own. That way people can learn different video game stuff from me.
Yeah, and there's no reason. And so where are you planning on going to college?
California State University.
Okay. Is it the University of Southern California?
University of Southern California.
Okay. And why that school?
I say that because they really focus on video game developing stuff.
Yeah,
so
apparently they have one of the best schools in the country.
So that's why I want to go there.
And you're not going to mind leaving your mom and the rest of your family here?
I'll come back.
And he said he could Skype.
Yeah, you can Skype, you can FaceTime. I said the same thing to my parents.
But what Alexander just said is so important. So he's 9, he has a vision for what he wants to accomplish.
Exactly.
And all of us, with our families, we are tightly partnered together to have him be ready. So when he's ready, and he may choose to apply to lots of other schools, but if that's what he wants to do, there should be no reason that Alexander shouldn't be first in his class at USC.
And you intend to make that happen at Bronx
Absolutely,
Prep.
100%.
Thank you so much for being with us. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear about the successes. Send folks to publicprep.org to learn a little bit about Bronx Prep and the other schools.
Our Girls Prep. Yeah, it's because we're the nation's oldest and only network of single-sex schools. Yeah. So Boys Prep and Girls Prep are our schools.
And parents especially. It's a lottery system to get in, so take a look at how maybe your daughter or son will be sitting right next to.
Correct.
Well, in Bronx Prep, it's son. Sitting right next to Alexander.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Alexander, thank you for kind of skipping class today to be here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I bet it is fine. When we come